Welcome to another video. I'm going to be telling you 5 specializations that SimCity Buildit does not have and that they need to get because it's very essential that they get these specializations. Please read the description because you can see chapters for each one, each of my 5 ideas. And I borrowed some of these ideas from social media, so I think you guys, the community, who are giving these ideas. Now, number 5 is going to be the cricket stadium, and I know that a lot of people are going to like this. Now, probably my United States viewers wouldn't really care, and I know a majority are, but I know I still have some viewers in the United Kingdom and India and throughout. And I know cricket is very popular there. You know, it's popular in Australia, India, Great Britain. If you don't know what cricket is, you can look it up. It's basically a sport that's very popular over there. And I think this is very essential that they do put a cricket stadium, just because SimCity Buildit actually has a high audience, global audience, right? It's not a game just based in the United States. It's actually had a wide audience, and I've seen the SimCity Buildit community in India. I want to give a shout out to you specifically because there's a vibrant SimCity Buildit community from India itself. Also, of course, from the United Kingdom, because there are also a lot of the English-speaking nations. SimCity Buildit has become popular also in other nations, but cricket is very popular in those nations. And the fact that there's not a cricket stadium is just sad. They've only, as you can show, they've only catered to American sports, and the people of the other countries are, you've been neglected. You're not getting your sports stadiums, right? As we can see here, baseball, which again is which is American, American football. They had the soccer, which was global, but there's no cricket. And now I know for some of us, cricket, we may not use it if we live in the United States. We may not play it. We may not watch it. But I respect the sport, and I know that there is a heavy following on cricket. And the fact that they don't have a cricket stadium already is, well, ridiculous, because a lot of the followers, especially globally of this game, like cricket and they like SimCity Buildit, and they haven't catered to it. They need to have a cricket stadium. There's not been one, and it's kind of sad. I believe those of you that watch cricket, those of you that like cricket, this is a global game, and I think SimCity Buildit and EA needs to understand that this game is not just for the United States, it's also for everyone across the globe. And, you know, cricket is pretty popular in other parts of the world, and that we haven't had a stadium is, well, it's kind of bogus, right? So, you know, please comment what you think. I know that's a big topic. We're going to get through some more of these. But cricket stadium is essential. They need to add that for the sports stadiums. Now, number 4 is going to be the Grand Canyon. And I know this seems obvious. I'm just naming landmarks that they don't have. But, well, that's kind of easy because even though the landmarks, we know that in the world there are so many landmarks. Yet, the game gives us this little section of landmarks, which, well, isn't really that long, right? So they left out a lot of landmarks, essentially, and one of those is the Grand Canyon. Now, I know probably you all are thinking this will probably take up too much space. No, you can make like a mini Grand Canyon, not make a giant Grand Canyon that will take up too much space in your city, and it could have a good pop boost. I think it would look awesome in a desert climate, especially in your regions. I think that would look amazing in a desert climate. They need to have a Grand Canyon. It's a historical landmark. I think one of the things that makes this game cool is that what we can do with cities, and when we can add landmarks, we can model other cities. For example, I have the Empire State Building here, and this makes my city look like New York City. It makes the game more fun. It makes the creative artists of this game have more options to be creative and create an awesome city, right? And Grand Canyon needs to be there. It's a historical landmark. It's ridiculous why we have not had it yet. You know, it would go good with desert regions. And where is it? Well, the game has not given us enough landmark specializations. That's just the case. They have not given us enough. But let's get to number 3, because this one is very important. This is the Palace of Westminster, and I'm sure this will have a lot of significance for those of you that are watching in the United Kingdom, as those of you in the United Kingdom know, but I'll explain for those of you that don't know. The Palace of Westminster is where the British Parliament meets, right? The fact that they don't have it is kind of ridiculous. Now, I actually had this idea, and I said this in a previous video, that they should have this, and you know why? Because, look, they have Big Ben. They need to, go more British. They need to have more British landmarks. I found not enough. They have Big Ben, and they have the London Town Home, so if you're trying to create a London city, that's good. And they've added the Buckingham Palace in the Blueprint Design Challenge Blueprint Exchange, which we can get within the next 20 days. So they added that, and now we need Palace of Westminster, because if you add the Palace of Westminster with Buckingham Palace, with Big Ben, with London townhomes, you're essentially getting a London city, and you can essentially build a city very similar to London, and I think that would be amazing. I think they need to cater to this. They need to do this. They need to make these reforms. I really wish someone at EA was watching this, because these specializations need to be created. We haven't seen much new specializations, and it's kind of ridiculous. But the Palace of Westminster should be there. It should be there. It would look amazing. You add that, and again, like I said, its significance, you can make a London city. Now, let's get the number 2, and I think this one, I put it at number 2 because it's very significant. This is in India. This is the Taj Mahal, and, well, this is number 2 because this is a big deal. This landmark is very famous. Everyone knows what the Taj Mahal is, the palace in India. And it's really famous. Everyone knows the white building. There's a picture of it, as you can see. But the Taj Mahal, how they don't have it is kind of ridiculous, because it's one of the most famous landmarks in the world, and you don't have it, right? So it's kind of ridiculous to see some of these landmarks that they really don't need. Maybe they don't need stuff like the Cinquantenaire Arch. Maybe they don't need that. There's some stuff that, have some historical significance, but don't have as much as some of these stuff like the Taj Mahal, which has just tremendous historical significance, representing Indian culture. How they have not had it, I'm kind of shocked, really. But, out of all my ideas in this video, I truly believe that one will come one day. I don't know. They do give us some landmarks in limited time, Mayor's passes, which they did with the Roman Colosseum. So I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually got some of these ideas in. However, I would hope that these ideas will become permanent additions to the landmark specialization category. Now, let's get the number 1, and this is the biggest one, and this is the most blatant failure by SimcityBuildit not creating this specialization. Now, I saw this on social media, that someone was saying this, that they need to expand, right? And that, the creativity here, it's been the same. And when we look throughout the years, players have been playing this game for years, and the specialization categories, well, they kind of stay the same. There's not really much change. And anything new in the game is usually part of a limited time event. There's really no permanent new specializations. And, well, that's a problem, because with no permanent new specializations, well, without those limited times events, the game kind of gets stale, and we don't have too many options to create our creative designs. Number 1 is the Burj Khalifa, just to get to it. If you know, the Burj Khalifa, it is in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, which is in the Middle East. It is the tallest building in the world, and the fact that they don't have that, it's blatantly, it's blatantly bad, because the tallest building in the world, not in a game, that's ridiculous. You can have something like the Empire State Building, which is historical landmark significance, and but it's not tall as the Burj Khalifa. Nothing is taller than the Burj Khalifa. It's the tallest building in the world. And the fact that they don't have it in the game, it's kind of ridiculous. It would look amazing in your city. Imagine how tall that would be. It's taller than the Empire State Building. As you can see in a city, the Empire State Building looks pretty tall in your city. I mean, the Burj Khalifa would give an aesthetic look to your city like no other. It would be amazing. I would imagine, give you an awesome pop boost. I would hope it would. The fact that there's no Burj Khalifa, really a specialization that needs to come. A specialization that, if it's not coming soon, that's going to be a problem. The Burj Khalifa, I got this idea again from social media, but again, tallest building in the world. and that needs to come. So I thank you guys so much for watching. As you can see, I put that new watermark, for those of my desktop viewers, I put that new watermark on the lower right corner of your screen. So if you click that, you can subscribe if you're new to the channel, because it's free. You have to give no effort, and you'll see, you'll never miss a video. Basically, you'll always get them recommended. So I really appreciate that if you do that. I appreciate if you read the description, because everything that you need to know is essentially there. And I just want to, I value you. I value you as a customer. I value you as a viewer. I thank you for supporting this project, supporting this gaming channel. And I just want to know, I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Like, my general appreciation for you guys. And I wish you all a wonderful day, and just keep on playing the game, and please comment. I want to know what you got to say. Thank you.